Deep within a bleak and dismal era, hidden within the murky internet, lies the headquarters of the most sinister geeks of all time. A Legion on Zoom.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Legion on Zoom. As usual, I'm really trying to come up with something new. It's kind of tough. I'm Ches.
And I'm Miguel.
I'm Rod.
And this is going to be a special little trip we're going to go on because it's going to be our first two-parter. It's a very big topic because essentially we're going to go over our favorite movie stuff that we love, and essentially we're about to paint with a very broad brush. So welcome to the Legion on Zoom Goes to the Movies Volume 1.
Woo!
All right, first off, as usual though, we got to cover some shit that's going on in the news. And whoever happened to get HBO Max while you were in the lockdown, whether you got it through Hulu or just regular HBO or through one of their other 5 super repetitive and redundant apps, all called HBO some shit, you now have a chance to get Wonder Woman 1984 when it comes out. Because aside from it going to theaters, because I thought it was only going to go to HBO Max, it's actually going to go to both, which is pretty impressive. It's really considerate.
Hell yes. I was very excited to hear that. I was very, very fucking excited because come on, the movie's been fucking done for a while, you know? Like, come on now. Let's see it. And we've seen other movies do that kind of stuff, right? Like with the Disney did it with Mulan, and then they did it with not Disney, but I don't remember who the company, but with the Bill and Ted movie. It's like, let's just come on, let's just go digital. Something that I thought was funny that I was seeing, because it's asking obviously, like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go to the theaters, or are you gonna watch it on HBO Max? Like, obviously, if you have it, I'm one of those lucky ones, like Chess was mentioning. I'm gonna fucking watch it on HBO Max. Like, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not. Well, for me, I'm not. I would love to see it in the theater for sure, but I'm not that excited about Wonder Woman. If I'm already paying for fucking HBO Max, well, actually, correction, I'm not paying for HBO Max or whatever, but we have it anyway. But anyway, I don't know. I'll watch it on HBO Max, man.
Yeah, I get my HBO Max from AT&T. So if you're an AT&T subscriber, just check and see if you get free HBO Max. I'm stoked, especially because it's coming out on Christmas, right?
Yes.
That's like a little gift for the fans. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, right? Come on, man. It's getting the Christmas cheer. DC is blessing us with a gift in the form of Gal Gadot being the ultimate superheroine, Wonder Woman. Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
Bah humbug. Because I, like like many Americans out there who don't have AT&T, I gotta work to pay for my damn HBO Max. So, but I am actually very, very surprised by that. I guess with like everything that's going on in the news, let's be honest, doesn't really look like things are getting better super quick. I guess a lot of the studios are just starting to turn that corner where it's like, hey, any money is better than no money. So why hold on to these movies? Why only put them in theaters anyway and be stubborn and get like a minimal profit when we could just get like a bigger piece of the pie, even though it won't be all the pie?
Exactly. And and Tenet, I think they're doing the same thing with Tenet, where it's coming out too.
Yeah,
like exactly, because like what you said, exactly, like it doesn't look like, okay, the vaccine news is amazing, but that's gonna take a while for it to actually be implemented, for the immunity to be to a place where people can go out like completely like all cool and shit. And obviously for us here in New York, like things are getting worse. We're going back to kind of like the start of shit. Schools are shutting down, infection rates keeps going up. It doesn't look like by December we'll be at a place like, yeah, let's all go to the movies. No, like probably not. So thank you, DC and Warner Brothers and HBO for doing this awesome gift. Exactly. That definitely does put me in the holiday spirit.
You know what I'm calling it now? I just thought about this. So even with the oversaturation like of all the streaming services, right? I see this happening. So somehow AMC or like, what's the other company? Regal Theaters or something like that, they're gonna come together and make like a movie theater streaming app. That do you guys see where I'm going with this? That somehow they're gonna get the rights. It's gonna be like a pay-per-view theater app where like some crazy shit like that is gonna happen. Where like if theaters become obsolete, that whole industry is not gonna go out of business. they're gonna find a way to turn it into like a pay-per-view streaming service by getting the rights to stream only through there. Some shit's gonna happen with that. Watch, I'm calling it now.
Nah, man, I don't think that's gonna happen because like all these big companies, like these big mergers that we had not that long ago with AT&T and what was it like with Warner Brothers, right? And no, because they own all these rights. They're not gonna give it to movie theaters. They're not because those are the movie companies. Also, they need the money to pay for the rent for the places that they have and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I have no idea how the industry functions, but it's not like how to pay for the employees and all that kind of stuff. No. We're probably seeing the death of a lot of theaters, sadly.
Yeah, and it looks like it's gonna be free, right? Unlike Mulan, that you had to pay for it.
Fuck that.
I don't know.
How's it gonna be free?
Isn't it like it was just stream right on the app?
I haven't seen any news about you having to pay because exactly for on Disney Plus for Mulan, you have to pay an additional fee to watch it, you know, like almost like on demand kind of thing video, you know, but with the Wonder Woman, no, it sounds like it's just going to be up on HBO Max and fucking ready to watch as many times as you want.
Well, I mean, technically still not free because HBO Max ain't cheap. Like you're still paying for it.
No, I know, but what we're saying is, for example, those those that you have Disney Plus who are paying for Disney Plus, if you want to watch Mulan, you gotta pay an additional $20 or something to watch Mulan, which is like, what? Come on, man, like shit. Like I'm not, and something that's also just to mention that's I'm fucking excited about because apparently also when this news came out, there's news that Marvel is considering doing something similar with Black Widow. So, oh my god.
See, it's gonna be the start of a trend, man. It's gonna be the start of a trend. Like there is no choice. There is no choice. There's money on the table. The pile of cash is not as big as it used to be, but it has to get grabbed. Like it's like they've been pushed into a corner, and I think us, the fans, are kind of coming out victorious out of a shitty situation, at least as far as the entertainment corner goes.
Agreed.
And speaking about Wonder females, there's actually a Wonder Girl show in production for the CW, allegedly. That's actually pretty interesting. Wasn't she part of the Teen Titans?
That's a very good question. Actually, I didn't even know about this. That would be cool. I would like to watch that, right? But it's a little bit confusing about there's been different people who've taken on the moniker a Wonder Girl, right? Like what I'm thinking about from Titans, and we've seen it on the show. We have Donna Troy, right? And that's who I think would be like, wasn't she the OG Wonder Girl? But there's also another Wonder Girl that I have no idea about her history or anything like that. Like you guys, Rod, Chaz, you guys, any idea?
No, neither do I. But I think it's like a Latin American version. It's not. Yeah. So like you said, we already got the OG Wonder Girl and Titans. And I think, spoiler alert, like didn't she die or some shit at the? I don't know. Anyway,
in the books, you mean, not in the show. And at the end of season 2 with Donna Troy.
Yeah, didn't she get killed by like a rampaging Connor Kent? Spoiler alert, people! It's on HBO Max. Go watch it.
You know what? I actually got to start watching all the Titans. I think I'm gonna start binging that tonight. Since
I'm rewatching it. I think it's it's pretty good. Like the quality tends to diminish after the second half of the season, but it's tolerable just to see them pull off a ton of iconic characters. Like Starfire, Nightwing, Deathstroke. Come on, you got to tune in just for that. And they're gonna have Red Hood next season.
And also shout out to fucking Hawk and Dove. Good Lord. Like I've only seen snippets and snapshots of him on the show. One thing about that show that I know, even without having seen that much of it or barely any of it, it's the production value on the costumes is ridiculous. I'm in love with those Hawk and Dove costumes for some reason. I don't know what it is about them, but those costumes in particular, maybe because I never expected to see him off the page, but good Lord.
I know, I agree. And I like all the costumes, honestly, in Titans. That's one of the things that they fucking got that shit out of the park, man. That shit's fucking so good. And the Hawk and Dove, obviously, like one of the, and then also just seeing them how badass they are in the fighting, it just looks fantastic. But so I did a quick research right now, so I know what you mean now exactly about the this other Wonder Girl. So in, I think starting in January, DC's doing this big event that's gonna take 2 months or something. It's called Future State, where all the books are, I think all the books, at least all the main books, are going to be set in the future. I don't know how far in the future, but in the future. And so it's going to be legacy, basically, characters, different people taking on, the role of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and all these different characters in the future. And for that, they've created this is the character that they created for that, Wonder Girl, which is supposedly her name is Yara Flor, and she's like a Brazilian version of Wonder Woman that's going to be in this future event. That apparently she's like she's born from an Amazonian warrior and a Brazilian river god. Damn.
Good Lord.
Sounds epic.
That's
right.
Epic.
I know, that's crazy. So great, because we have the classic Donna Troy Wonder Girl, and then there was another one I just found. There's Cassie Sandsmark, who's the blonde Wonder Girl, right? Because Donna Troy's not blonde.
Yeah, she's on Young Justice.
Yeah.
Season 3 dropping soon.
Who kind of looks like
Season
Stargirl.
4. Sorry.
Yeah.
Who looks like what?
Who kind of looks like Stargirl, just with a different costume, at least to me.
I do think so, a little bit. Yeah. It's like this young blonde, like teen type of superhero. It's they're gonna look the same. Yeah. So that's crazy that they're thinking already of creating a show for a character we haven't even seen. We haven't seen, at all. Like, I like the concept, just to think about the river god thing. Like, all right, that's pretty fucking dope. But it's like, okay, all right. I hope it's good.
It's the age of woke. You're supposed to like a show before it's made.
Damn.
It's what it's about now. It just comes out, you like it, that's it.
But now I wonder, though, right? So since it's based on this character from the future, oh shit, is this gonna be set in the future too? And if it is, are we gonna get some Batman Beyond shit? Because that would be fucking dope.
Yo, that escalated.
Yeah, there are rumors
very quickly
about that for HBO Max.
What?
I mean, no, I'm not gonna go too deep into it because I didn't see it from any like real source, but HBO Max is trying to do everything.
Word.
Like they're what the DC Universe app was supposed to be. That's what they're gonna do with HBO Max, especially with this Wonder Woman movie. Kudos to them for doing that.
Yo, I am down for all of this.
I wonder what happened with that behind the scenes. Is it like, does WB own HBO? Or like it's HBO, like, was it just like a consolidation of content? Like, you get what I'm saying, right? Or is it like a partnership?
It's because of the merger, because AT&T owns HBO, and then AT&T merged with Warner Brothers, and so now it's all under basically the AT&T umbrella. And
one day there's just gonna be one company. One day DC
Amazon
is gonna fuse with. Wait, let me get there. DC is gonna fuse with Marvel.
Jeff Bezos.
And then they're gonna fuse with Amazon.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's when WALL-E begins. I think that's the moment the Pixar future, dystopian future starts.
Just plug the content directly into my veins.
Actually, and then speaking of the HBO stuff, just before we move on, I just remember reading in the news, I think it was today I read it, or yesterday, they gave more information about the Green Lantern Corps show, which is another like HBO Max. Bravo, you guys are doing really well. Like I'm excited for all these shows. But apparently it's going to be an anthology type show. It's going to be set in different times, so that makes sense why Alan Scott's Green Lantern is going to be there. So there's going to be like a period in the 40s, and then there's going to be an 80s, which is supposed to be the Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have like contemporary times, and it's going to be Simone Biles and who's the other
Jessica Cruz.
So I'm looking forward to that.
I hope they bring back Mark Strong as Sinestro.
Word.
He's hanging around the DC offices all the time. He's been like 4 characters.
Yeah.
They got to bring him back because he was really cool as Sinestro.
He is Sinestro.
I don't care what you guys were just talking about. I got stuck on just thinking about a live action Guy Gardner costume. That suit is one of my guilty pleasures. Guy Gardner's Green Lantern outfit. I don't know what it is about it. The green vest, the white gloves, the big white belt. When that thought just popped into my head, I stopped listening.
Because that is a very 80s look. And so imagine that. Like, imagine that guy like kicking ass in the 80s. I would love to see that.
Or oh my God, a live action Kyle Rayner suit. Oh, wow,
Oh,
good Lord. Oh my God, I can't wait. Like I, I just hope like I'm so excited about this right now because like all this sounds so amazing. I just hope it doesn't go the route of the DC app where shit's getting released before like while it's already canceled, like Swamp Thing. I just hope all this works out. I hope that this becomes what the MCU is for Marvel for DC. Like I hope that happens. I hope that happens.
Agreed. Yeah.
But also speaking about streaming, and I'm hoping it happens with like you know what it's kind of shitty to hope it happens because it's kind of hoping that the world stays this way for a while, but I'm hoping that the streaming trend persists by the time that Deadpool 3 comes out, which is already in pre-production. It'd be pretty cool to get that on streaming services too.
Word, word. What do you guys know? This got just announced recently, right? Like, I don't really know much
Yeah.
about it.
Shit. Well, it will eventually be on streaming, right? I mean, it's in pre-production now. It might be 2 years before we see a trailer or something like that.
Yeah.
Not that I think things like that are happening a little bit faster than 2 years. You know what I mean?
Like maybe a trailer in 1 year, but I
Yeah.
don't think we wouldn't see the movie until 2 years for sure.
Oh yeah, but that's why I had said like hoping to get it on streaming services.
If they're writing the script
would be-
right now,
Yeah.
shit, I don't know about seeing a trailer in a year, especially with like
Right.
COVID and all that stuff. And Marvel has a slate. Marvel's slate is already stacked for like the next like what 2 at least, and it keeps getting pushed back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it might be a while, but still, Deadpool being like one of the unsung heroes, or you know what? Deadpool is kind of like a true fan grassroots movement, right? Because the only other X-Men that has his own film is Logan, right? And he's the #1 X-Men. How the fuck did Deadpool, like, not only did he get his own trilogy, right, which is what it's going to become, but just like this massive fan following and successful movies. I love those 2 movies.
The
It's
answer
been
is
solid. I'm looking forward to seeing. He's gonna play around in the Marvel universe. That's gonna be fucking hilarious. Like, just seeing him, what he's gonna do. He's in a whole new place. How he gets there, fighting Doctor Strange fuckery. Who knows? Multiverse of Madness. I hope he's in there.
Yes.
the answer as to why Deadpool has his own movie franchise, I think, aside from you being completely right about the grassroots parts, is I would say to name a shop, Hot Topic. I guess like when the executives saw how many people just buy Deadpool merch, you know what I mean? They just saw that it was an opportunity to blow it up. I
Yeah,
honestly,
the fans, right,
Yeah.
from the comic book, right? So
No, yeah, but at the same time, like the character's also just very fashionable. You know what I mean? Like he's one of the few characters whose logo you see plastered like all over stores and shit. Think about how many X-Men there are, like, or like how many mutants exist and shit like that. But the fact that they know that they could sell his merch, I'm pretty sure was part of the reason why he's getting his own movie franchise.
yeah, it's like a chicken and the egg thing, right?
Yeah, word.
But shout out to Rob Liefeld
Right.
for one of the creators. I don't remember the who wrote.
No, I think he is the main. I think he
Both?
drew and
Ah.
wrote him. So
Nice.
we'll double check that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's who he's the main creator. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh no, or was it with Fabian Nicieza? Or how do you ever pronounce his last name? I think it was with Fabian Nicieza, who was like one of the main X writers at the time. You know, so we would need to fucking double check that shit. But I will say something we didn't mention. You guys were saying about the grassroots and shit, though.
You are correct, sir.
Oh, it was Fabian Nicieza too.
Yes.
Oh, boom, both of those, Rob Liefeld and Fabian Nicieza. I like to pronounce that last name, just to say Nicieza. No, but something that we didn't mention though about the grassroots. So the big thing that helped is, come on, Ryan Reynolds. Like he was advocating for this movie.
Right.
For fucking like over a decade, you know, like he filmed a little pilot thing, you know, and then showed it, I think, at Comic-Con, and then like really just he busted his ass, like he wanted that Deadpool movie, and that, which is impressive too, because he was also already Deadpool, right, in the terrible Wolverine movie, in the Origins movie, and that he was still no, he's like, no, I'm not letting this go. Like, I know this character can be better. I really want this to happen. And he just fucking pushed it. And even the first movie they made, it was very, very low budget. I think they ended up making like almost like triple or something in terms of profits. Like, so, which is incredible.
It was rated R.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it's the highest grossing rated R comic book movie.
Yes.
I'm going to say that and pretend it's true.
Yeah, and supposedly Ryan Reynolds made so much money off of that movie because of the deal he made. I think he made some like back end like percentage type contract and shit. Like it was wild. It was like supposedly he made a ridiculous profit margin on that movie.
Yeah, I think because I think he also like made one of the smart deals like where they own some of the revenue that comes out of it, or something like the franchise, the merchandise and that kind of stuff. But I wanted to ask you guys about the Deadpool movie. So, but another thing, excuse me, a big news that came out of that.
Oh shit! We got our first confirmed case. Now go ahead. I'm following with you.
Pause for editing, maybe.
Anyway, with a mask
no,
on.
leave it in. Go ahead.
We're not editing shit. We're going live. No, so anyway, so let me get my mask back on. No, that the writers are different, because I think it was the same writers for the first two movies, and now it's going to be a different pair. That I don't know anything about them. I think it's sisters or something that are doing. But the main thing I know that I'm a little bit excited about this. Apparently, one of them is one of the main writers for Bob's Burgers.
Ooh.
So, I love Bob's Burgers.
Word.
And so, okay, all right. I know, but the only thing about that, like, I know we're getting the comedy from them. I don't know about what else they write though. But what do you guys do? You guys thoughts on that?
I mean, it's gonna be tough to tell because, just like you, I have very little idea of what they've written. But I do love Bob's Burgers, so there's that. And just hoping that Ryan Reynolds has been so dedicated to the character. I mean. I would have like the audacity to say he might have even written all the books that are written on the character. You know what I mean? Not like all his appearances and shit because he's all over the place. But I would dare say that over time, he's gone as far as probably to read every single Deadpool comic book. So I'm pretty sure he has a lot of input on the movie, and I have high hopes for that.
Yeah, word. I think so. I just hope, the first two were directed by the same guy or no? Quick fact check. I mean, if they get a good director, and besides, it's like whether or not it's rated R is important too. Because I hope they don't. I mean, I think Blade. I don't know. Blade might also be rated R. I don't know. I'm just guessing shit at this point. But I just hope it's as funny and as vulgar as the first two were.
Word.
Yeah, so they were sort of involved. So the directors changed, but the screenplay for the first movie was apparently written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. And for the second movie, it was written, the same people, Rhett Reese, Paul Wernick, but also Ryan Reynolds was given a screenplay credit. So I'm assuming
definitely felt that way, like watching the movie.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty sure he's put so much in-depth research into the character because hey, like it's paid off, like it's part of the process. So I'm pretty sure he's definitely going to aim the movie in the right direction.
I cannot wait. I'm happy to see that. And also, because I don't know if you guys follow Rob Liefeld, because he's been posting on Instagram for a minute now. Shit, I think about Marvel, about giving crap about how Marvel had no plans for Deadpool and just upset about it. And I couldn't follow all the things, but he was that was around the vibe that he was putting out. And so, all right, cool. I'm excited. Yeah, all right, let's do this third film.
Yeah, and I wonder if it'll be like in continuity or detached, like the first two were. Although it was like a shit show of a continuity for the Fox X-Men verse, I'm wondering because it's probably the hesitation of Kevin Feige to announce any like Deadpool product is probably because they haven't announced any X products, right? Like we don't know what they're gonna do with that franchise. And whether or not Deadpool is going to be connected. I mean, he doesn't have to be. Although I do love his relationship with Colossus.
Yeah, but why do you think it's not in continuity of the first two films? They definitely were.
In continuity of the Fox X-Men verse?
Oh, you mean, I thought you meant like within Deadpool. I
think within Deadpool. Yeah, right.
Well, they kind of right. They kind of were connected to the X universe, but they
Yeah.
kind of just like gave
And it's also
nods.
connected to Ryan Reynolds' actual life universe, right? Because he actually Deadpool comes to Ryan Reynolds and kills him.
Oh, right.
So yeah, he does
yeah.
traverse dimensions, but speaking just from an MCU standpoint, where continuity is important. I'm just curious as how they're gonna work with that property, but we'll see.
That's the same question with every property that they have now, right? With the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, all those, like, what are they going to do? How are they going to incorporate them, right? Because it'll be like the key thing will be like, where the fuck were you guys when fucking, Loki attacked, when Ultron attacked, when Thanos attacked? Where the fuck were all you guys, So hopefully that'll be a fun explanation, or we'll see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully the Fantastic Four were like off-world or off-dimension. That would be cool, especially if they can just write it off in that, let's say the negative zone time just passes by differently. I know they've done that in the past with the Fantastic Four comics. With the X-Men, I think, I don't know. Some people are saying that like WandaVision might do some hocus pocus for mutants, like a reversal of what happened in the comic books. That would be cool too. I don't think it would be too tricky. I know Kevin Feige already has a plan. He has this shit planned out.
Oh, word. For decades in advance.
Yes, all right.
He even has contingency plans for what to do in case he dies.
Word. He's like the Batman of comic fans or some shit.
Yes.
And speaking of a shit show in continuity, I'm sure that all you folks out there saw in your PS4s or Xbox or streaming services that the movie Without a Time and Place, also known as New Mutants, dropped. And I believe that the only person here who might have seen that insane, for lack of a better term again, shit show was Miguel, right?
That is correct.
Care to
wait, why are you calling it a shit show?
I know,
you haven't even seen it. What the hell, dude?
No, not the movie
why
itself.
Why you mad?
Not the movie itself, but like how it was released, like out of time, like the production. You know what I mean? Like all that crazy shit that happened behind the scenes.
Yeah, man. Whoa, settle down.
I'm not saying the movie sucked.
Man.
I'm upset.
He's like, let's talk about this shit show of a movie right now. Miguel, talk to us about something I don't give a fuck about.
Well, that second part you might be right about.
I think I get what you're saying. Exactly. The movie was filmed almost a decade ago, or I don't know what.
See? That's a chronological shit show.
It was in post-production hell, I think, for a long time. And then the even before COVID, the release date kept getting pushed, and then obviously COVID made it worse. And then it fucking finally came out in August for the movies. But like I wasn't playing in any theater near us here in New York City. But now it finally came out for digital and Blu-ray and DVD, even if you're old-fashioned.
And VHS. They're trying to get their money everywhere.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm about to check if it's on VHS. Hold up.
That'd be dope. Let's get it. Yes, so I saw it because we know it got bad reviews. Rod is actually checking if it's
on VHS.
It is not.
It confirmed. If anybody was planning on buying the New Mutants on VHS, you heard it here first.
Right, breaking.
Breaking news. New Mutants did not drop on VHS. All right, Miguel, go ahead.
There's going to be some little sad kid in Christmas like, but what about the VHS for my VCR? Anyway, yes. So the movie New Mutants, yeah. Because the one thing also, I don't know, like I don't know if we've talked. I think we might have talked about it a little bit. It didn't get good reviews, right? I think in Rotten Tomatoes they gave it like a 30-something%, and the audience, the critic rating was 30-something, and the audience was like 50%. So like right split in the middle, which I'm like, that's not that bad.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but can we dismiss Rotten Tomatoes as a meter for quality?
True.
And I'd like to reference Exhibit A, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
Nah, man, I love Rotten Tomatoes. I generally agree with them. I do like to use the audience metric though too, but I generally agree. But yeah, okay, so is this gonna be a spoilerific review? Because you guys haven't seen it. Or
Wait. I prefer no spoil. I mean, damn.
All right.
I mean, don't drop any nuclear warheads.
Don't
you
worry.
can drop like landmine or
Okay.
place landmines.
I mean, does it really matter?
There's not really anything big to spoil. Actually, there's a couple of things that are fucking cool that I'd rather not say until everybody's seen it, or until Rod sees it, because I know Rod's gonna get a kick out of this. But then we can talk about that. But other than that, there's really nothing of a spoil. Like, so I guess generally the review is like, honestly, look, if you like the New Mutants, like, not even it doesn't even you didn't need to have read the books, but as long as you know the characters, you're gonna enjoy it. It'll be fun because, for example, I love those characters. Like, I haven't read the New Mutants a lot, but I've read these, for example, Cannonball, Sunspot, Magic, and Wolfsbane. I think those were the characters that I've known the best, and I loved them. I loved them, especially like when Cannonball and Sunspot were Avengers for a time, and I love their dynamic. They're best friends. I really like those characters, and Magic's a fucking badass. Like, I just love Magic, and especially now on Hickman's run on X-Men, Magic is just a fucking badass. Like, she's one of the captains, second basically to Cyclops. She's dope. So I loved seeing them. I loved it. Like, the power sets look dope. Like, the actors are great. I love them as the characters themselves. I like that a lot. But the overall movie, wasn't. I've seen worse. Like, it wasn't Fantastic Four, the Josh Trank film. It's not that bad. But
Damn.
But it was. It was, because the thing, I saw what they were trying to do. It's a fucking cool idea. Like, the kind of the horror suspense type of thing to it. I think that was a cool idea. I could see what they were trying to do, but obviously as a movie watcher, if I'm seeing what they're trying to do, they didn't do it well, right? Because then I'm not in it. I'm not surprised. And so I could appreciate that. I felt like it was like a draft, like, I feel like, you guys could have made this a little tighter, a little bit better. I don't know what caused it to be that way, because maybe I don't know, maybe the script, or maybe the production issues or something, because they were good actors, generally a good plot. I felt that was a good story, but just the execution was kind of meh, like a little meh. Like, if you don't know the characters, this is the first time exploring, this kind of movie, you're not really gonna, dig it. Because for me, it was like the moment they saw their powers, seeing Cannonball fucking, being fucking Cannonball, I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, and that's fun to watch. But other than that, is like, but I enjoyed it from start to finish. I enjoyed it. It was fine. I can see why it's 50% audience, like, I can see how half of people won't really like it a lot. But if you're an X-Men fan, go for it.
You know what I just realized? That, like, considering that movie's mindfuck of a release schedule, it's kind of in a weird way made itself immune to a reboot. Because think about it, had it been released on schedule, they could have rebooted it. If they would have released it in 2010, they could have and if it would have sucked back then, they could have had another chance at the property now. You get what I mean? But it's kind of like they released something old now, so they can't reboot it. They're just stuck with what they got.
Yeah, the final X-Men film to come out of Fox, right?
Yeah.
That time. Is it worth comparing to the other X-Men movies, or should I just look at it like, Hellboy or something just detached? Like, is it worth,
Well, honestly, yeah, I think so, for sure. Look, for me, personally, for me, I think every time I go into a movie, I try not to compare it. Like, I want it to stand alone on itself, and I can have to enjoy it by itself. Obviously, if it's fucking connected, it has to be better than the past movies, for sure. And if it's connected, it's even better. I do think for the New Mutants, just definitely see it like you said, exactly. Like, it's a Hellboy. Like, it's kind of like a separate movie. I guess kind of like how we might have gone into Deadpool the first time, before knowing it was fucking a badass film, right? But like, it's within the universe, right? But does it matter if it's connected or not? It's its own standalone story. Is it connected or not? I'll let you watch it, and you'll see. But yeah, see it as a separate thing.
Okay. Yeah, I just mentioned Hellboy, and that ties into what Ches was talking about, because that shit got rebooted what, like 2 years ago or something? I did
Facts.
not see that.
Thank you for bringing that up. Me neither, because honestly, that movie felt unnecessary. Everybody wanted a part 3 with Ron Perlman,
True.
especially
True
considering that part 2 is literally one of the greatest comic book movies ever made.
That shit needs a Snyder Cut movement.
Facts.
And I think it has like a good fan base, but whatever, they decided to reboot it. I mean, that's one of those things where I just saw the reviews and I'm like, nah, I probably won't do it. Like Fantastic Four, New Mutants, I'm iffy about.
Yo, I completely forgot about that. You're right. They got rebooted with, and it was the guy from Stranger Things, no? That played Hellboy, the guy from also the Black Widow movie, that eventually we'll see. Actually, I saw it. I think I saw it on a plane because it was one of those things too where it's like, well, all right, I got a fucking 5-hour flight. Let me.
Yo, that right there, that's the sign of a shitty movie. When people speak that sentence, yo, I saw it on a flight. You're like,
yeah,
oh.
you're fucking hostage in the sky, and you're like, yo, what can I do to not go insane?
You're getting waterboarded by that movie.
No, and no lie, because I saw Josh Trank's Fantastic Four that way too, and I saw Venom that way too on the plane too. Because I'm like, that's the only. I'm not putting fucking money to that shit. And Hellboy, yeah, I it was not. I tried to fucking enjoy it, and it really, because I like the ¿cómo se llama? The actor. I forgot his name, but I like him, and although his look, I'm like, he looks kind of cool, but I'm like, nah, he's not Ron Perlman though. Like he is Hellboy, and it was not a good movie. It was not. I did not like that movie at all. I would think the New Mutants movies are probably better than the Hellboy reboot. But I'm biased, obviously, because I love these characters, right? Like, I'm a big X-Men fan. And so, because you can't believe, like, and seriously, like, the moment I saw them do shit or, like, they were on screen, I'm, like, excited. I'm in a good mood. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, it can't, I'm already in a good place, so that was a good place to be.
All right. So, process of elimination. So, New Mutants is better than the shitty Hellboy reboot. What's better, Josh Trank's Fantastic Four or the shitty Hellboy reboot?
Hellboy.
Damn, that
Hellboy.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
So glad I didn't watch that movie. Word. I had my heart broken.
No. Oh my God. And especially exactly being a Fantastic Four fan, Rod, you would have cried of how bad it was,
Damn. This is a tearjerker.
Yeah. Shit. No, because honestly, I don't remember seeing a movie as bad as that. It was just a mess to watch.
That shit begs the question: worst comic book movie you've ever seen?
Oh, you guys go, because I think I'll have to go with that Fantastic Four movie.
Damn. Chaz, you got one? Because I could use a little bit more time to think. Because I got two on my mind.
Yeah, let me see. Well,
you got Batman versus Superman, right? What else are you thinking of?
As the greatest piece of American cinema, and what the fuck? Oh, speaking of which, there was a recent. Wait, quickly. November 17th, like I mentioned, like I don't know, an episode ago, it's a historic day for us, at least the Snyder Cut movement fans, and Zach did a special breakdown of the trailer scene by scene. He went through each fucking scene and talked about it, and it was an hour long, and it went by like in a flash. So definitely check that out on YouTube. Yeah, a lot of flash questions. One tidbit that I will say, then I'll drop it, gentlemen, is that he says that he doesn't like. Remember in Days of Future Past and X-Men Apocalypse, how Quicksilver can pick people up out of time and move things. Zach is like, nah, my Flash can't do that, because it's like he sees it, like if he tries to touch somebody, like the intense speed and friction and vibration is gonna just like rip that person's skin off or some shit, like basically peel their skin off in slow motion or some shit, kind of like but similar to what A-Train did in the episode 1 of The Boys or some shit like that,
right?
But yeah, anyway,
right. Oh,
back to shitty movies. Let's not talk about classics.
Quick point to that. That's a good point, because I do think there's some reality. I guess the physics would make sense behind it. And I think in the comic books, I think Flash does like speed people up in their like or something. Well,
Yeah.
he can
He
do that.
lends. He lends his speed.
Yeah, but that's a great point. And so, all right, I was skeptical at first, you know, but I'm like, all right, Snyder, nah, I'll go with that. But or fuck physics, do it because it's cool, dude. Who cares?
I will say this: I am absolutely disgusted, and it makes me want to vomit the way Ezra Miller's Flash runs in that trailer.
Jesus Christ.
It looks like he's swimming.
Yeah, he talks about that. No, a fan asks him because he also is answering questions live on Vero.
Did the fan
Which is-
ask him
I don't know if he
why
has,
it
like,
was stupid? Not why it's like
stock
that,
in
but
that
why
shit.
it was stupid.
And was that fan you, Chess? Because you mentioned this in the
Yeah, it might
episode
have been
before, bro.
Chaz.
I hate it. I hate it. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Damn,
But,
Yeah,
bro.
shitty movies. All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna damn. This might require more thought, but I don't want to think too much. I'm gonna go with the first one off the top of my head. It's Batman and Robin. You know, although it did have, you know, Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, which I thought was cool, and Arnold in any capacity is cool.
And Chris
No pun
O'Donnell Robin.
intended.
Chris O'Donnell Robin.
Yeah, him too. You know, he was lit, and this is when he donned the Nightwing-esque costume. You know,
Nice.
like there were plans for another film, but whatever. We won't go into that. You know, I had a star-studded cast. Whatever, George Clooney, whatever. He's cool.
Batgirl too,
Dusk
right?
Till Dawn was still
Alicia
like one of the
Silverstone.
dope-ass- Yeah. She was cool. Anyway, that movie. First of all, it's the first one I didn't see in the movie theater. I think, you know, of the Burton Schumacher verse. Because I'm like, damn, I was hearing the reviews. I was already in high school. I'm like, this shit looks whack. And like the people were just, you know, tearing it up. So yeah. And then when I finally saw it, I had the same thought. I'm like, this is silly. They're playing ice hockey with a diamond. It's a complete departure from, you know, Burton's idea of what the Batman with this version was going to be. But whatever, you know, Schumacher, rest in peace. Batman Forever wasn't that bad. But yeah, I'll go with Batman and Robin.
The one thing I will say I hate about that movie is the disrespect to one of the best villains in all of comic lore, Bane. Oh my God, did Bane get disrespected in that movie? He was some plant-based venom,
Vegan,
stupid.
soy.
Yeah, but yeah, basically. But yeah, it was horrible. It was so stupid. It was that if you think about it, that's like the anti-Bane.
And he was like relegated to almost like a minion thug status, right? Like he wasn't really given like the fucking gravitas, the fucking Bane demands, you know, like taking just orders from Poison Ivy and that kind of stuff. Like, God, come on, man.
That's the same thing that happened in the first Mortal Kombat, where they made Sub-Zero and Scorpion like minions of Shang Tsung. Like they just completely took away all that storyline. Which the animated version, I don't think we've mentioned that. There's an animated film. I don't remember what it's called, but it's Mortal Kombat. It's recent. It's really good. If you're a fan of that shit.
Isn't it called Origins? Mortal Kombat
Some
Origins,
shit like
something
that.
like that. Yeah, I saw that. It's really, really good.
Right, yeah, I just went like a completely other direction there.
Yeah,
No, that's all
right.
good.
But yeah, what do you guys got?
I will go worst comic movie, and only because the potential was immense. I expected so much more, and I'm also going to repeat the same movie for one of our discussions a bit later in the episode as well. Ghost Rider. I was so upset by that movie. It could have been so great. Like,
wait, which film? The first one, then?
I
There's
mean,
two, dude.
To be honest, the franchise sucks ass. They're both whack. Part 2 is better than part 1, but part 1, since it was the first, it's like I'll put it like this: I didn't even hate the fact that they cast Nicolas Cage as Johnny Blaze. I didn't even think that was that bad. And I don't know why that movie ended up sucking so much. I'm just gonna go ahead and blame the director.
Damn. What do you? I honestly, I don't know. I remember watching both films, and I remember not being like, oh my God, this movie was the best, but I don't remember hating it. Like I thought it was all right. But I guess you're saying because of the potential, right?
Yeah, it's it's the worst to me because it's the biggest disappointment.
That's fair. Yeah, part 1 was slightly better. No. Part 1, I left like neutral from that one. Like, okay, it was a cool movie. Part 2 was
Exactly.
trash. And I rewatched it like a few years back, like hoping to find something salvageable from that shit. And nope, it was just as whack as it was in the movie theater.
But I mean, let's be honest though. Part 1 was only like it left you neutral because of a few things. They actually did a good job with Ghost Rider himself, and you got to see the writer that came before him, and it gave you some writer lore.
And a shirtless Nick Cage. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, I mean, him in any capacity is just a treat. But
he cages out too. Doesn't he go like full on?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, but aside from that, and I think who was the leading woman? Eva Longoria? No, Eva Mendes.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah, it was Eva Mendes.
Yeah, Eva Mendes. Yeah.
You remember this movie?
Yeah, because I like Ghost Rider. And it's just like I was very, and if I'm not mistaken, his sidekick is played by the dude who plays Bullock on Gotham, right? He's in that movie too.
Who plays Bullock on Gotham? Really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! You got
the naughty vampire god.
Yeah. That guy. I forgot what his name is.
I just googled. You're right, Donald Logue. That's his name.
Yeah. That guy's an amazing.
That guy's epic.
Yeah,
we gotta give him a shout out. He's done a lot of things.
Shout out to Donald Logue. He'd be out there in the streets acting. But like that movie is just I hated it. And it's like, and just to throw it out there, when we discuss what movie should get a reboot, that's my answer too.
Oh, and you know it will too. Damn, that's gonna be so cool.
Oh, I'm all for that. What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And damn, first of all, Ches, I want to say I'm sorry for how bad it was, because like that shit, like fucking, I felt your pain, bro. Like you remember so many details about that movie that I remember nothing about it, man. But that's good. I'm actually thinking now, guys, what do you guys, I think I propose that we should try to find a time, if not do it together or separate, then we'll review. I think we should rewatch these shitty fucking films. Like it'll be a first time for some of you guys for like Fantastic Four. It'll feel like the first time for me to watch the Ghost Rider again, and I haven't seen Batman and Robin in fucking decades, probably.
I will be getting high for this endeavor. I'm just throwing that out there. It's important that I do that.
I think it'd be better together. That way our suffering can be shared and the load is thus lighter.
Yo, we need to do that. We need to fucking, and then we'll record it and it'll be a future episode.
LoZ watches the worst comic book movies
of all time.
I am all for this.
Yeah, and we do it because we love you guys out there. We're willing to suffer for you. We're willing to, I guess, punish ourselves emotionally and psychologically, just to give you guys the best of ourselves.
Damn, I got a question actually, just for debate. I don't know what the right answer would be, but now that we're talking about Ghost Rider, it reminded me of this. So was Ghost Rider worse than Daredevil, than Ben Affleck's Daredevil? Because you're saying it was, basically.
I only saw Daredevil once, and it was on a bootleg VHS. Talking about VHS and all that. And I wasn't really paying attention. So I need to rewatch that to have a final like verdict on it.
Now, you know what? Ghost Rider was better than Daredevil.
Oh, what?
yeah. Ches chose like most disappointing, right? Which is valid. Like,
but that's the thing. But that's the thing. That's the thing.
That's valid.
Yeah. There. You didn't you hoped that it was going to be great, but like, you know, you didn't expect much from Daredevil. It's kind of like it's kind of like a street level, you know what I mean? Like superhero, yada yada yada. But like Ghost Rider, that's an undertaking of a movie.
Dang, you'd think they'd like fix something for part 2. It had Idris Elba.
Yeah,
it had
a drunk Idris Elba.
Yeah. Who also, another movie that I haven't seen that was very disappointing just from the reviews it received was Dark Tower with Idris Elba. I haven't read the actual novels, but Marvel.
Matthew McConaughey, right?
Matthew McConaughey, that's right, as the Man in Black. I read the graphic novels released by Marvel. It was a prequel, like with Stephen King, you know, behind, kind of like not writing the comics, but behind it. I think Peter Firth. There's a couple of writers on it. Anyway, it was really fucking good. So I went headfirst into the Dark Tower lore. And then like, okay, they're making a film with Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey, but then it gets like these shitty ass reviews. I'm like,
Word.
damn, is it worth it watching it?
You know what?
Damn.
Add that to the list.
Actually, but now this I think brings up. I love the way you described it. Exactly. So we mentioned what was the worst movie, right? We have all said the worst movie. And so technically, Chess, you said the worst movie was Daredevil. The most disappointing was Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, yeah.
Right. So I agree. So now, Rod, what was the most disappointing film? Because I have one already in my mind. What was it for you? Well,
okay. It's X3, X-Men United. Because you know, you guys know how I get into the director, because you know the director is kind of like similar to what a comic book artist does. They're placing the scenes, they're picking the actors, they're doing different things like that. So I really get, you know, all in when I see a director like pull something off visually that's fucking cool and that we hadn't necessarily seen before. And I was a huge fan of X1. X2 topped that. So I'm like, holy shit. And then, you know, the Dark Phoenix, we've talked about this in the, I don't know, one of the X episodes in the past, but I was stoked. That shit broke my heart. That movie. Brett Ratner, that guy has like all these like, you know, Me Too things going on too, man. And well-deserved for releasing that atrocity. But then,
that's
you know,
why it's
but you know, like the night is always darkest before the dawn or whatever. That shit set the stage for Matthew Vaughn to do his like soft reboot. I know we're gonna talk about like best reboots or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
If First Class counts as a reboot, which it kind of was, that would definitely be in the conversation. But I know I went in circles there. X3, most disappointing.
Awesome.
I just want to put an asterisk on the sentiment that was shared by Rod real quick. Yeah, the movie was horrible, but let's not forget that it gave us a sexy ass beast in Kelsey Grammer.
Yes.
That man was luscious. And as always, I just want to bring awareness to the individuals that had their brains caved in by Colossus when they got punched. I never want to let people forget that. Go back and watch that movie. Colossus punches regular human beings. Those people are gone.
All right, I gotta rewatch that scene just to remember that goriness. But I love your comment, Rod. Perfect. You and I, man, we're fucking almost in sync. That's because I'm right there with you, but that's not exactly my choice because I was just as excited about the movie as you were. But I think I remember not being that excited about from the trailers or something, and just being like, this does not look like it's gonna be great. And so I kind of was a little bit prepared. But the movie, for me, was the most disappointing so far. It's basically the sister movie to that. So the Dark Phoenix movie that just came out, like, what was it, like a year ago? That movie for me was a biggest disappointment because the same thing that you said, the First Class, loved it. Loved the reboot. Oh, fucking Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy. Awesome. I love them. And even the X cast was great. Days of Future Past, come on. And then although X-Men Apocalypse wasn't great, right? It was kind of like, okay, all right. And then I felt that for Dark Phoenix, right? They have Simon Kinberg directing the movie. I'm like, all right. It's gonna be dope. Like, and they're finally gonna do the Dark Phoenix story its justice. And they did not. It was hard to fucking watch that film. It was just like I was so disappointed by that film. Also because, come on, you have such great source material. Just do what's in the fucking book. Let's just start with that. If you just do that, you don't fuck it up and you're at least pretty good.
Yeah, and there's a precedent for that because Simon Kinberg, like, you know, he did a lot of producer work, writing work. I don't know. He helped build the Fox universe to what it was. But it's different being a director and then being kind of like a writer because there's a precedent to that. And that was David Goyer. He's a prolific comic book film screenwriter. Like, he's done, if you name it, he wrote it type shit, right? He did Blade Trinity, the third one, with our boy Ryan Reynolds. Yeah,
Horrible
so you
movie.
know, as soon as you oh my God, this one. Another writer whom I love, who defined one of the greatest characters of our time for all time, Frank Miller, directed The Spirit.
Another shitty movie.
Yeah, after being involved with 300, he's like, "Oh, I think I could do this. I could do what Zack Snyder does." Yeah, right, bro. Give me a few Zack Snyders.
I'm so mad that came around to that. I'm so upset right now.
Sorry, man. Like I would have picked obviously Justice League as the most disappointing movie. No. Wait, hold up. Let me backtrack. Not one of the most disappointing movies, but one of the most disappointing moments of my life. Like,
damn.
But the fact that they're kind of like doing it over, I'm like, no. Let me go with X3. Even though thankfully, Bryan Singer came back and unwrote a lot of that nonsense.
All right, no, but we got good choices. All right, but so we should watch the worst movies, and let's not watch the most disappointing ones, because why go through that pain again?
Let's go through all the pain.
Damn.
All the pain will make us better men. All right, and now back around to redeem our souls with some positive conversation. And as I had mentioned, I already gave my answer. A Ghost Rider reboots would be the shiznit. I don't even care if they bring back Nicolas Cage, to be honest. That'd be epic. But yeah.
He's not an MCU character yet, right?
Nah.
No.
A Ghost Rider? Well,
no, Nicolas Cage.
No, Nicolas Cage.
No.
You know what? They should just bring Nicolas Cage into the MCU as Nicolas Cage.
Word.
Just he's Nicolas Cage and he's in the MCU. All right, Miguel, what was your answer for much needed reboot?
What would be the reboot that we need? Shit. I actually got to think about that a little bit, because there's a few options. I think, I guess staying. Oh, I don't know, man. Well, you know what? Yes, I think fuck it. I'm gonna stick to what my heart tells me, and going to what we were talking about. I do think the reboot that we need is X-Men. I think we need a good X-Men reboot, because they haven't done, like, there's good films for sure, but there has not been a good franchise, like a full fucking franchise, like, because like the first 3 films ended poorly, right? And then the next 4 films, we're not, they had some good ones and they're not that great. I don't know. I would just love to see them do the X-Men again, right? I'm excited to see them in the MCU. Close second, I would obviously say, I think when we were mentioning Fantastic Four, that's another reboot that has to fucking happen. They tried it and failed incredibly.
Also, like, I'm just shocked, real quick. I'm glad you mentioned Fantastic Four. The one thing I don't understand, how did the first Fantastic Four movie get such a much better looking thing? Like, because that suit on Michael Chiklis.
Talking about Jessica Alba?
No, the thing. Because the suit on Michael Chiklis looks infinitely better than the CGI in the Josh Trank one. And it's so much older. And that suit looks awesome.
They stuck their guns basic, just like, let's try to recreate it how it looks. Let's do this stuff. I don't know what the fuck they did in the Trank film. But yeah, no. Dude, what's your reboot, Rod?
Damn, that's tough. So are we going to go with, if it's already in the pipeline, like, is it worth mentioning? Or, because I think I'm going to go with Spawn, right? But that's kind of already in the pipeline. And just on the topic of reboots, like, I'm not usually a hater, right? I try not to be a hater. That's one of like my rules of my, how I go about my day. Like, okay, don't hate. If you're hating, take a step back and reassess.
I don't believe
I was hating a little bit that they were trying to reboot the Brandon Lee Crow movie, the OG James Barr Crow story, right? Because they kind of did soft reboots. They made sequels to that, which I was gonna say were the most disappointing movies. I saw 1 or 2 of them, and then I'm like, fuck this shit. But yeah, they were gonna bring back like The Crow, and they were trying to attach Jason Momoa to it. I'm like, guys, just stop.
Yeah, man. I think I saw one of those. The guy that played Angel on Buffy, that went on to do his own show. Then he did Bones. David
I think he's in part 3.
Yeah. Oh my God, that thing was a garbage heap. Oh God. I just got nauseous thinking about it.
Damn.
That movie sucked.
Shit.
That doesn't count as a comic book movie. I refuse to count that because that would take the cake of cake. So let's not even. I'm not including that.
Damn.
That's on the list with Rocky 5, Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Whoa! Come on. You put Rocky 5 in a list with Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Yeah, remember? That's been on the retcon list. That's the oh no, not Rocky 5. I'm talking about the Rocky with Tommy Gunn. What's his that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Rocky 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We put that movie on the retcon list since we were kids. Remember? That movie's horrible. It doesn't exist.
I don't know.
You're bugging.
Damn.
But yeah. Oh my god, that third Crow movie. Ew.
And there's like a fourth, and there's more. But yeah.
Damn, really? That's that many? I had no idea.
They were trying to do it right. Finally, I mean, that shit has been in like its own production hell.
No, yeah, because I respect the effort. All the movies suck, but it's like in making them, they tried to stick to the Crow lore. Because remember, like the Crow wasn't just that occasion; it's something that happens. It was something kind of like a specter in
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just so happens that every single attempt after the first one sucked. But imagine if they all would have been this shit, we would have had a Crowverse.
Damn.
Yeah. I think there is a kind of like a Crow universe.
No, there's not.
Yeah. I would go with back to Spawn because I know they're it's been in like, pre-production rumor-ish with Todd McFarlane writing like the script and Jamie Foxx attached. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that's true or if I'm just making it up. Again,
no, that's all true.
Internet is a vast place full of lies. But yeah, the OG one, and I'm not saying that it needs a reboot because the OG one was so whack. That one, it's in the middle.
Okay.
It's in the middle of like the spectrum of comic book quality movies, right?
Shout out to Michael J. White. Who also played Bronze Tiger in the Arrowverse.
Yeah, he's an alum.
Yeah. And who's actually a real life, like straight up martial artist.
Yeah, like a 3rd degree black belt or some shit. And he was like, he was in like Universal Soldier 4 too. Remember that shit?
Oh,
yeah, word.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, deep cuts. We're just going through
deep cuts.
Yeah, that guy is timeless. He is like a B movie god. I think he's made a fortune just making martial arts movies and kicking ass.
Damn, cool.
Yeah. But I think he peaked as Bronze Tiger in the Arrowverse. That is like his crowning achievement. I want to keep this positivity train going because I want to forget about the first 3/4 of this episode. And we should actually discuss the actual best reboots that have actually come to fruition, aside from what we wish would happen. That's a bit of a big question. I am not going to go first on that, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the buck.
Tell us.
I have thoughts. I do have some thoughts. All right, so, all right. I got to go with my gut. That's Christopher Nolan rebooting Batman, right? Picking Christian Bale and making it kind of like realistic, right? And adding all the elements that, you guys, everybody who's listening to this saw that shit and loved it. So I don't need to talk about it, right?
Word.
And in a close second place, just because I have to, I'm under contractual obligation to say this.
Man of Steel.
Although yes.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yes. That's it. Mic drop.
Damn,
Man of Steel. Contractual obligation. Yes, you fucking are. I'm actually not gonna fight you on that one. Actually, I would say it's a pretty good reboot, especially because are we saying reboot from all the way from fucking Christopher Reeves or from the fucking crappy one from before where
I think it's the one right before it, right?
Yeah.
Although Bryan Singer intended for that film to be part 3 of the Donner verse,
right?
Anyway.
Damn. I honestly, all right. You. I was gonna say the same thing. I was actually gonna say the Batman trilogy, like the Nolan. That was because that was like actually showing us like I don't know this fucking badass gritty Batman. But just not to be redundant, I'm not gonna repeat. I'm gonna try to say something else because I had another one in my mind, and I'm sure this is gonna be controversial. I'll be sure you guys are not gonna like this, but I guess another reboot that I loved is Spider-Man. I
Which
really
one?
well the Tom Hollands, like just the Tom Hollands. Oh yeah, you're right. Which ones? I totally
Exactly.
blanked on Andrew Garfield. I'm like, what do you mean? It's Toby
Oh,
and Tom Holland.
I
No.
thought that's what you were saying because it was like a huge improvement.
Oh no! So then it's not controversial. It is completely accurate. No, yes,
I
exactly.
just don't like you guys forgetting Andrew Garfield.
No,
Alright,
yeah,
don't
you're right.
group us all. All right, I remember him.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Andrew. I liked your films, man. I liked them. I remember I went to the movies. Actually, I think one of those movies we saw together, the second movie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Exactly.
that was an interesting evening.
Right, right.
If you want to call it that, yeah.
But I remember, like, for the first Batman, coño, the first Spider-Man movie with Andrew Garfield, I actually went to the theater to watch it on my own. That was the first time I ever gone to the movies, like, on my own. It was a pretty cool experience, and I felt like for Spider-Man, I'm fucking gonna do this. I was here in New York City, but no, no. He tried his best. No, but
Yeah,
yes,
and
Tom
he
Holland.
came out as like a big Peter Parker Spider-Man fan, right? He was just pushing that shit, like, "Yo, man, this is like a childhood dream."
Yeah.
You know, so and they weren't that terrible.
No.
And also, editor's note: if you don't speak Spanish, coño is fuck, but in Spanish.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
The more you know.
Or damn. Either or.
Yeah, like you stub your toe, coño.
Yeah, fact. All right. So since you guys want to go ahead and ignore the entire medium of television, I'm going to go ahead and cast my vote as the best reboot to be the Flash TV show.
Okay.
Because
Interest.
I don't get how you guys just ignored that. Like, I consider that endeavor almost bigger than a movie reboot, especially considering the fact that they brought John Wesley Shipp into the fold of the show and made him lore. Come on, as Jay Garrick,
Yeah.
dude, I give that whole show props as the best reboot because it's so good. Like, it's campy and it knows it. It's at times it's cheesy and it knows it at times. That show just, like, I legit just got goosebumps. That show, like, radiates your love and joy for some reason. It's one of the few innocent spots in, like, all of comicdom, like, that's been brought to live action, I guess. The show, like, just radiates, so, like, a rare wholesomeness. It's weird. But, yeah, I would say the Flash TV show is definitely the best reboot.
Bravo. That was a good. That was unexpected.
Damn right.
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
also, and not just bringing Wesley Shipp, but bringing him as his own Flash. I think.
Oh yeah, in the
Right?
muscle suit.
Yeah.
No, wait, no. It wasn't as his own Flash because he's Jay Garrick.
But
No.
did it in the Crisis on Infinite Earths, didn't
Yeah.
he go to that Earth?
That was
Oh
him.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yo, John Wesley Shipception.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bravo,
man.
Flash.
Yeah, and come on, dude. Like, there's been like movie level villains on that show, but yeah, that show definitely has my heart. And to go out on a high note, I feel a lot better with this show ending the way it did than with the mid part of the show, which Osmo had me in tears. I'm glad that we could end with some smiles, and as always, it's an honor, it's a pleasure. Love you, dudes. Love the fans. This is Ches. We are the Legion.
Yo, and I'm Miguel.
And I'm Rod.
Deuces.
Peace.
To write him the way he would want him to have been, but I think he did such a good job not ignoring the history of Batman, not ignoring the Joker's history, but I feel he ignored Jason Todd's history and all the good writing that he's had across the board, that I feel like this is out of character. I feel like, why is he doing this? Like, no, or build it up a little bit more. I'm not buying it that much, you know. I still love the ending though. There's still things I critiqued about it, but I loved it. Oh, and just to quickly add, I don't want to, fact check the fact checker, but actually, what Batman asked the Mobius chair what's the Joker's true name? He, at the end of this book, he says that he knew who the Joker was since the first week he met him. So why is he asking what's the Joker's true name? Like, your argument, I guess, still holds. It can still be like because he knew there might be, I don't know. But I didn't like the reveal. I would have loved for it to have just ended with Batman saying, yeah, we don't know. Yeah, or something. And then like a scene that the kid and the mom is alive somewhere without Batman knowing. And it's a mystery for both Batman and the Joker. That's something they both don't know. But just because it started with that fucking question, that makes me feel like, come on, Batman.
From the Mobius chair.
Yeah, like exactly. Like, do you know or not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, we're always going to be divided. But the one thing that we could agree on is that it was an amazing event, and it's definitely it addressed something that we've all kind of wondered over time, like shit, how old is the Joker? You know what I mean? Like it kind of put something into perspective. But overall, even though our opinions are a tad split, the one thing we all are united on is the fact that the art was amazing and it was a great event to read. It had its ups and downs, but those ups and downs were peaks and fucking valleys. Because good lord, that was an amazing art to read.
Yeah, I think it sets up a sequel too. Right? Because Joker says that, like, he wants to now become like his worst trauma. So
yeah. And I will say too, I remember when we first started talking about this a few episodes ago, Rod, you had mentioned that you saw that this was an epic story in the making, right? Like that this is going to eventually with time be one of those epic Batman stories, right? Like we keep mentioning the Killing Joke and that kind of stuff, right? Like that this book will be up there with that, right? And we were saying that we weren't going to know that until we know the ending for real. With that, I think so. I think still, like, even we have divided ways of thinking about the ending. I still think as a whole, these three books it's going to be one of those up there classic Batman Joker stories.
Word.
Do we all agree on that or not?
No, definitely.
For sure.
I agree. And on that note, something that rarely happens, we all agree on something. So that'd be a perfect way to cap off this amazing verbal audio adventure for all the fans out there. And guys, as always, it's a pleasure. It's an honor to serve with you, gentlemen, for the sake of keeping people informed, entertained in the real things that matter. For all the fans out there, keep coming back for more. I'm Chez.
And I'm Miguel.
And I'm Rod. Peace out.
We're the Legion. Deuces.
Peace.
Legion on Zoom, starring and produced by Jose Perez, aka Chez, Rodney Martinez, and myself, Miguel Arce. Please subscribe on wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or shoot us an email at legiononzoom@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Legion on Zoom.